Welcome to ArtDay. It's Monday. It's time to sketch, and the topic today is a self-portrait because it's on the 52 prompts list that I started, I think, last year or 2 years ago. I don't remember. I don't like self-portraits, but it's on the prompt, so I gotta do it. And I thought I'd do somewhat of a cartoony self-portrait of me, and I gonna incorporate things that are new in my life. So for example, I have to concentrate. For example, there's my Porsche that I hadn't in my life before, and now I do. So let's sketch me with a Porsche. If you don't know what my Porsche is, it's my rollator. So let's do that. Do my shirt a little longer because I'm not very fond. Or do I wanna wear a dress maybe? That would be an idea too. Gotta think about that. And it's supposed to be funny and cartoony because life is still good. It's not the sad kind of a sketch here. I haven't done this in forever, by the way. Just checked. The previous page was from July last year. It's more than a year ago. My trusty bag. I think I'm gonna put some art stuff in here, like brushes and such. That would be maybe something. Got the wheels. Gotta concentrate a bit while I sketch, so there might be a little less talking, but I will in due course. My trusty brakes, very important. So let's put something in the bag. So brushes, definitely gotta have my art supplies. And a third one, because I like things in odd numbers. And something with board games, so let me think. Let's do a paper scroll first, because that could represent my ancestry work, because that's part of me too. I want to do something with board games, so that's difficult from this angle. Do I want to just have a game box? Let's see. Or do I want dice and meeples? Yeah, why not? So let's have a satchel here. And there's meeples. Something like that. I think I want to wear a dress today, because it's autumn and I actually wear a lot of dresses and skirts in autumn with some lovely tights. I don't necessarily wear them that much in summer, though I do as well. But I really like in winter or autumn. That was not a foot. It's more like socks, and I hardly ever wear socks outside, because the rollator that I sketched here is the one that I have for outside. Do I want to incorporate my shoes? Because I started, or I had to change to flats only. I can't wear heels anymore. It's more cankles than angles, but I'm going to ink this in a minute and I can adjust things then. So let's see. I think, yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. I think I want to maybe wear a loop scarf, probably. And one thing that I want to incorporate, of course, is the video work that I do. So I need to have a camera in my face. Need my vlogging camera. And it's on a tripod. And there's my hand being difficult to control. That's a weird angle. Should have maybe started with the arm and then this is not how my hand looks. No. So let's get rid of the camera and start with the arm, not with the camera itself. Might be a little smarter. So this is that, and we have the upper arm, the lower arm, something like this. And the vlogging camera sits on top. Or I'm just gonna take not my vlogging camera because it's really difficult to recognize as a camera from this angle. But I'm just gonna take some kind of a vlogging camera. That people use. Still gotta have the tripod. And yeah, the scarf, like a loop. That left boob is a little weird. Okay. On to the face. I'm not gonna draw my glasses because I don't want to. I think I'm gonna make this a dress. I'm gonna get rid of these lines. I'm gonna ink this up now. I'm thinking, yeah, I might. So one thing that definitely has changed is that I have to rely on support way more than I had to before, so I'm thinking to have some people in the background, just like shapes, shadow shapes, but I have to think about how I'm going to do that. Don't like the nose, but well. So at this point it's just inking the lines, which means you gotta be kind of confident to put them down all in one swoop. Like so. It can be a little intimidating, especially if you have a lot of pencil lines underneath to take the correct one. But since this is going to be kind of a cartoony sketch, I'm okay with not having every line being totally precise. I need to shorten my feet. They're too long down, so I gotta change that up because it looks like my rollator is just sitting in the air, which is not correct. So I'm just gonna freestyle that to have it on the same level, you know. So my trusty bag of things. And another brush. My paper scroll. And my board game meeples. Maybe having a bit of a dye in here. And now my legs. Ooh. And the back of the bag. Ta-da! Now I'm going to erase all of those pencil lines, and then I could actually start with the colors. Again, I might want to add something in the background, like a shape of people, but I'm not all that sure yet how I want to do that. I was thinking maybe alcohol markers, but they don't really do well on this paper. They are quite smudgy, and just like normal ink pens, they would leave quite a bit of streaks, which I'm not very fond of. So I'm not sure yet how I'm going to do that, or if I'm going to do that. I have to get a new eraser thing into my eraser. This is, yeah, worn down quite a bit. And later on I have to definitely clean my table. So, let's start coloring. Ooh. I brought my very cheap Faber-Castell Color Classic pencils to the desk. I had tried Polychromos pencils earlier and I didn't like them on this paper. I don't know, it just didn't work really well. They sit on top of the paper too much for me. So I can't really get the colors right. So let's get these 4 pencils here. I used them in the last coloring project with the twins. But they are some of my favorite colors, so I definitely want to incorporate them. So for one, let's start with the head. I do have quite a bit of brown hair. So it's brown blonde-ish actually. So I'm just going to add a couple of browns and a little bit of that, I'd say it's an ochre color. Ooh, I shouldn't throw my pencils. And since this is just a sketch, I'm only gonna do so many layers of color here. I could actually put the other Copic liners away because I didn't use them. So I need a little bit of a skin tone. I'm gonna go with a little bit of a lighter one. That is hardly visible. Okay, that's the more difficult thing with the gray toned paper. Colors don't show up as well, but I'm gonna manage. So there's a layer of skin tone. And I'm gonna add a bit of beige to it because I'm not that pink, rather pale. So I'm trying to get a little closer to my actual skin tone. I'm gonna add some of maybe a light brown or my yellow ochre to it as well for shading. So let's check my brown tones. I actually like this one a little more. So I'm going to sharpen this and be very gentle with the way I color with this, because I don't want to have too much of a dark brown skin because I'm Caucasian, but I need a little bit of a shadow. Just to not have this look too flat, you know. And even with these pencils, it's a little tricky to get the pigment down. So the neck is way darker because I do have my face casting a shadow and the loop scarf as well. Just a little more of the beige to blend things together a little more, as much as I can. I mean, again, this is my sketchbook, so I'm not that concerned about it. So need a bit of shadow on my hand here. I mean, I could paint this self-portrait here later on with maybe watercolors or something. But since I don't really like painting self-portraits, I'm probably not gonna do that. So now I need a little bit of a dark red for my mouth. And most of these pencils are not sharpened. The twins have been using them a lot. And I haven't sharpened them after they have been coloring and drawing. Whoop. Tiny bit of black. And I will very likely go over the ink lines again once I'm done with coloring, because I color over them now and that makes them kind of milky looking. So oh, I forgot an ink line here on my arm. That's not helpful. That's more like it. I kind of want my yellow scarf. I do have a very pretty yellow scarf that my mom knitted for me, and I love to wear it. It's not a loop scarf, but I'm just gonna make it one in my picture here. And I do like mustard yellow in my clothes, actually quite a lot. So I'm pretty much wearing a lot of yellow, which I think is okay if I represent it in my tights and in my scarf. Maybe I want a little more of a light yellow too. Yeah, I definitely do. So let's start that before I go in with my orangey yellow again. Just to have enough tooth on the paper for the pencil to be laid down, for the pigment pretty much to grab onto. Need a bit of my dark brown for the darkest shadows here. This one, for example, and this one. I don't want to add too much, but just a bit for a little bit more contrast. More of my ochre to blend the dark brown. Forgot to color that part. There we go. I'm going to use the same colors on my tights because I love to wear those. And I do have bright yellow tights and more mustard yellow tights, so this is definitely me. I'm not gonna go too dark on the tights though, because I'm having a lot of brown brushes here that I don't want to cover up too much. So I'm going to use the ochre color for shading, not use the brown that I had used on my scarf. Ooh, don't throw the pencils. Maybe I should use a tiny little bit of that brown or gray. Let's wait for shading the tights, because I want to draw a color in my dress first, and I do like dark blue and black dresses. Well, let's put it this way. I don't have a dark blue dress. I do have black, brown and gray, but dark blue, especially indigo blue, is my favorite shading color. So I think it would be only fair to make myself wear a dark blue dress, and it fits well with the yellow. So why not? It's a little cheating because I don't have a dark blue dress. But maybe I should get myself one. On the other hand, I have so many dresses and skirts. Well, I have a dark blue skirt, a corduroy skirt, dark indigo blue, totally cute. And I wear it with my yellow tights. So I think that is okay for me to choose a blue dress for myself. Kind of want to use the Polychromos indigo pencil. Maybe I should try it. They don't work well on this paper. I said that earlier, but I just do love that indigo color. They work a little better on top of the wax-based pencils, so I'm going to use them as a second layer. I just love this color. So I'm gonna just layer it on top and then start shading. I have to remember that the Polychromos work better on top of wax-based pencils when it comes to this paper. Things you learn, guys. Things you learn. That's that layer down. Now I can start shading, and I do want a dark gray, another very dark blue, so actually almost a black, and a real black. So I'm starting with the gray. Which is a little too light for me, and I have to be careful about how many layers of color I can put down here, so I should skip the gray and just go for those other pencils, so the dark blue black and the real black. So there's quite a bit of shadow underneath my scarf here. It casts a shadow. And then I can go in with a very light touch with my black and increase the contrast here, shade even more. But I have a very light touch because I don't want my dress to be black. Shading underneath the boobs. Again, going in with a very light touch with my black. pencil. And I'm shading towards the right because I have my arm on the left in the drawing. It's actually my right arm, but I have my left arm in the drawing lifted, so I'm thinking light comes from the left hand side of the drawing. Shade a little bit between the boobs because I think I have a very tight dress. Just a bit. And then just to even out things a little bit, also shading a tiny bit towards the right, but not as much as I did towards the left. Okay, now onto my arm. Starting with that very dark blue, blackish color. And then going in with a little bit of my black. Sketchy, sketchy. And some more indigo just to bring all of it together. Ooh, that was not supposed to be there. That's more like it. Little more of that dark black blue color here on the elbow. Same for the actual black pencil. And oh, do I have my indigo in my hand? I was looking for it for a hot second. Okay, a little more indigo. There we go. For the camera, I'm taking a gray. My camera is actually white, at least the vlogging camera. But I'm gonna take the gray here, shade it with a bit of black. Again, just very light touch. Okay. Now I gotta think. Excuse me. because my Porsche is silvery blue-gray, so kind of this and this together, if you mix those colors, this bluish and grayish silvery looking pencil, that's actually the color of my Porsche. So I'm thinking I'm gonna, oh, one of the twins colored with this one. Wore it down. Okay, so I'm going to put a very soft layer of blue on here, and then go on top with gray, but with my light gray, not with the dark gray. Ooh, that was the wrong pencil. Using the light gray pencil on top should give me that bluish tint of my Porsche. It looks gray, but it has, like I said, just really like a tint to it. And there were other colors available. There was a brown, but I didn't like that. And I think there was like a real black, but I thought that was kind of boring. So I decided to go with the blue. But that is a little too blue for me in the drawing. So I'm going to take my dark gray to cover it up a little more. Because it should really just be a bluish tint. Shading with a little black. Now the difficult thing, all the things that are black. So the handlebars, for example, I'm gonna start with a dark gray. And put quite a bit of black on top. I mean, they're solid black plastic in real life, but I didn't want to just color them in with ink or something, because I thought that would look kind of flat. And you know me, I don't like flat coloring. So I think the dark gray works a little better for that. Same with the wheels. Oh, I should start with the gray. I do have a white luminance pencil, so maybe I will use that later on to have some highlights, because the luminance actually really works well with highlights on top of other pencil media. And this is a little uncomfortable for my hand, but I'm gonna manage. All right. For my shoes, I'm gonna wear, what kind of shoes am I gonna wear? I only have black shoes and brown shoes. Well, I do have a pair of blue sneakers, but I hardly wear them with a dress. Ooh. But I don't want them to be only black. So let's have a little bit of blue underneath and then go on top with black. I think that is a little richer. And I'm probably gonna blend those colors together with a little bit of indigo, just to have color repetition. Haha, there it is, my thing, color repetition. That's not too shabby. Now, the bag in my Porsche is also black, but I want to start with the stuff in my bag first. So I'm going to take the brown I think I used in my hair or on the scarf somewhere. Gonna use that. And since it is all about color repetition, I'm going to use the pencils, the brown pencils that I used on my hair, to shade these lovely objects. Maybe I want to use the luminance pencil also to outline my drawing. I'm not sure at this point, but I have to think about it a little more maybe. Well, I got time. I have to color a lot of things still. And then go on top with the ink, you know. So I want to use the same blue for the metal parts here of the brushes, because I don't want to introduce a new color, but I needed the dark gray to go on top. And my brushes all have very light handles, or most of them. So I'm just going to use my ochre and then add a little bit of that dark brown that I also used in the bristles, just for shading, just a bit. These objects are so tiny that I actually don't need to shade a lot. Now I need my beige and I think some sort of yellow maybe for the paper scroll. Let's start with the beige. I could actually just go with that brown here. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's actually enough. I don't need a yellowish tone. But I want my dark red from my mouth again here. And gonna shade it a bit with my brown. Maybe I'm gonna take a little bit of the darker brown even to shade the right hand side. And then my bag of meeples. So I need another color. I do have a lot of yellow, a lot of blue and black and brown. Need something to stand out. So I'm thinking, where's my light green? There it is. I think that's a nice contrast, and it's also one of my favorite color combos. So the bag of meeples will be light green. And for shading, I'm gonna use a little bit of a moss green. And the blue, not the indigo blue this time, but the other blue, because it works really well with those two greens. And for the meeples, kind of want something orange because that's my favorite color. So I'm going to have an orange meeple in there, because why not? And I can shade it with my red pencil. The other one, I'm gonna take the blue again. And my dark blue to shade. And the white dye. So there's a white dye down here. Let me think. All the rest here from this bag is actually black. And I think I'm just gonna go about it like I did with the tires and the handles. Just gonna go in with a dark gray. And then layer the black on top. No. Ugh. Difficult to grab my pencil. So I'm not going to color it as much as the visible inside of the bag. Not gonna go that dark because I want the difference to be visible. So I'm gonna color it a little more towards the bottom with my black pencil and then gradually blend it with the dark gray towards the upper part here. I think that though it is not absolutely correct when it comes to what my Porsche looks like in real life, I think with a cartoonish style I can have a little more of artistic license, pretty much, and change up colors a little bit, because I'm not going for a realistic style here, so I can have a little more contrast in my drawing here than I would actually have in real life. Because it's all just black, black on black with a little bit of black. But I think I like this way more. So now I'm just going to add a little bit of a bottom for me to stand on, and I'm taking a little bit of the light green and a bit of the dark green. Putting them on top of each other, and for the real shading I'm gonna take the blue pencil that I used both on my board game satchel and also as the painting under drawing of my dress. Then I think I need a little more shading on my tights. I had waited with that, if you remember, from earlier in the video. But I think I need just a little bit of a shadow here towards the crotch. And need my sunny yellow pencil to blend that together. I think I also want a little bit of my light yellow pencil because I think I haven't used that yet on my tights. All right, now where's my luminance pencil? There it is. I want a few highlights here. See how well it goes down on my colored pencil. I want a little here on my camera. So here on the handles. and on the wheels. And now I can go in again with my ink pen, darken up some of those lines that I lost during coloring. And then I think I'm done with my self-portrait 2019. So, question for you would be, do you like drawing self-portraits, or do you feel not that great about it too? Is that a subject that you'd prefer not to draw? Does it just feel kind of weird to you as it does to me? Kind of narcissistic maybe? Or do you just not mind and say, okay, it's just a subject to draw and I'm not gonna be weird about it. If you want to let me know in the comments, I would very much appreciate that, because I'm always curious on how other people see these prompt lists, if they think some things are weird or not at all. Do they make you uncomfortable maybe? If it's not self-portraits, is there another topic or another thing that makes you kind of uncomfortable if you get that as a prompt for drawing or painting? I really love to know, so I would very much appreciate you commenting down below, because I wonder if I'm the only weirdo that feels iffy about self-portraits. All right. Yeah, I didn't have this part done yet. I had to check now where I already put in ink lines, but it wasn't on this part of the drawing. So that's the Porsche. Now on to my dress. What to color next? What to ink up next? Let's go with the scarf, because I don't want to smudge whatever I put here when it comes to my ink marker. Because sometimes I find that the Copic markers on top of colored pencil stay wet a little longer, and then I can easily smudge things, which is not great, especially after coloring everything. Wouldn't be too fond of that. Don't want to start over. Yeah, you could say I'm a little lazy, or I just am happy enough with this sketch here that I don't want to draw it again, because again, self-portraits, not my kind of thing. Almost done. Yay. I have no idea how long this took me. I have to check up on my camera in a minute. But I don't want to look up now. I want to finish those few little ink lines. Now I can look. Ooh. 1 hour, 18 minutes. All right. Now the question is, do I want a little bit of luminance? White pencil around this. Nope, not really. Don't like that. I'm gonna erase that. And it is still visible. Ah. Oh well. But I think, hold on. Yeah, I think I got it well enough. So no luminance for me, but on my die back here, there needs to be a little more oomph. Or maybe a white gel pen. No, I'm gonna leave it at that. So I'm just gonna sign it. Today is the 10th of November. Ta-da-da! There we go. This is my self-portrait 2019. Things have changed, but they're still the same. I didn't draw in the background people, as you just saw. I think it would be too much. I actually like the gray paper just in the background. I think if I would have made this on a mixed media page, I would have maybe have very soft watercolor people in the background and then have a colored pencil self-portrait in front. But like that, I think it's fine. I'm not that happy. I need a little bit of gel pen. It's just a little more gray than white here. I want to have a real highlight. And I think gel pen works just way better for that. And another one maybe also here, just a boot. Come on, gel pen, work. Yeah, that's more like it. Yep, kind of happy here. So this is my portrait. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm gonna come back with way more drawings in the near future. Not sure what I'm gonna go do in 2 weeks because we're getting closer to Christmas time, so maybe something Christmassy. I haven't decided yet, but I hope you enjoyed. If you have questions or comments, like I said, please leave them in the comment section below. Excuse me. The list of all the pencil and pen names that I used today is in the description box below. There's a link to my web page. There's a post for this drawing here, so you can read up on the pencils that I used. And I think I want a little bit of luminance here, just seeing things. So if you liked this video, I would very much appreciate you giving it a thumbs up. If you're new to the channel, want to see more, peruse the channel and hit that subscribe button. And I'm gonna see you on this very show in 2 weeks. Take good care. Bye.